Hi all, this is Kendra and Noreen, and we are going to walk you through how to pull a group report from STARS database. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the STARS database, and that is smpship.acl.gov, and you will have your own sign-in already enabled. From this home screen, you're going to see at the top, home, tracking inbox, search, reporting, and configuration. Today, we're going to start with search. And in the pull down menu, we're going to go to group outreach and education, and we're going to go to advanced search. Now, because we are doing a group outreach and education search, what we're going to do first is click, of course, group outreach and education. The point of this report is that we can have the volunteer coordinators or whichever volunteer pulls these reports for us, or you, go and pull the specific group or specific county by that specific quarter, because this is how they get paid. They will need their exact details for that quarter for that group. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is, again, we're under search and we're in group outreach and education, advanced search. Under data object, we've clicked that for group outreach and education. And then under data element, we're going to choose start date of activity. And the reason for this is, again, we need to choose by quarter. So we're going to choose a start and finish date for that quarter. So we're doing between under operator, and it's going to bring up the various values. Now, something I really want to point out to you is that it's month, day, year, year. And I made this mistake because this last quarter would have been 10/1/2024. And that would be through 12/31/2024. Now, the initial problem is, and it's going to give you a hassle if you don't do this, because it says month, day, if I put in 1, it won't take it. So I have to add the 0. So that's just a little heads up from me to you. So after you put in your quarter date, you're going to go down to the bottom, make sure that add as column is checked, and you're going to click add. Now you'll see this at the bottom. Now, I want you to think of this as a filing cabinet. So up here is kind of the main cabinet with all the drawers. And here you've pulled out the drawer and you can see all the different files. So we're actually taking a look through. And the next one we're going to go to is columns. So you're going to go to all of these, all in order. So we've already finished this part. And we're going to do columns. And in columns, this is where we're going to choose all of the pieces that we want to see in our report. So the first thing we've done is specify that we want a group report. And then we've specified that we want it for a specific time range. And now here we are going to go through exactly which columns we want and in which order. So if you see, because this already chose our start date of activity, this is currently listed as the top event right here. So what we're going to add is, and this is in order, county of event. And I'm going to move this up above start date of activity. So over here to the far right, you're going to click up. And now county of event is above start date of activity. Then what we're going to add is MIPA. And same thing, we're going to add MIPA above start date of activity. So here to the far right, we click up. So now the order is county of event, MIPA, start date of activity. Now we're going to add title of interaction. We're going to add type of event. We're going to add delivery method, target beneficiary group, intended audience, number of attendees, and finally, topics discussed. Okay, now that is the comprehensive list of what we want to see in order on the report. So as you've clicked them, you'll be able to see them in that order. Okay, so from here, if you remember, we're going through our filing cabinet here. So the next one we have is organizational unit. And here you will see Washington SHIP. Now, if you clicked Washington SHIP, it would show you everything in all of Washington state. So instead of doing that, we're going to go to the little plus. And what this shows us is all of the sponsors in Washington. So if you were looking, for example, for the entire county, you would want to choose every sponsor in that county. So for an example, in King County, we have Solid Ground and Chinese Information and Services Center. So we would need to choose both of those to cover all of King County. For this particular example, we are going to choose Aging and Long-Term Care of Eastern Washington. So we're just going to click this one. And then that's really all you need to do on this tab. Just click which ones you want to see. Now, the next one on our filing cabinet here is display options. If you choose HTML, it's really easy to save it as a PDF, and then you can send it out and share it, and it's easy. You don't need to make any edits. That's your option. If you do think you might want to sort or filter data, which again, you probably will not have to do, you can click Excel. For this one, I definitely recommend HTML. So that's all you need to do on here. Everything else will come up exactly as it should. Going back to our filing cabinet here, the next one is properties, and this is where we name it. So the naming convention as we have preferred it will be year, dash quarter, the sponsor acronym, and then group outreach. So for this one, it would be 24 Q4 ALTCEW, so Alt Q, and then group outreach. Okay, this one, we already know what the title is. You can write a short description. You can do exactly the same thing. So you can write 2024 group outreach right here. And then we're going to save this search. What's cool about this, and I will go a little more into this in just a minute, when you save this search, it will keep it for you. And you can then just go in and change the quarter dates and use the search every quarter, so you do not have to re-pull this. Okay, so we've done the save search and we see everything here. It says the name's already in use because I have already I have already created this one. So let me title this one number 1. All right, so now I'm going to save it. Okay, so we have ours, and then we are going to click search here at the top in order to actually see the report. Okay, so here at the top, we see the search summary. And this is everything that we put in with our dates value and everything else. Down below, you'll see all of the records that are included in this report. And if you recall, we did it as an HTML format. And so in between these, in between the search summary and the actual information on the report, you'll see this little line. If you do print, you can save this as a PDF. And this is so nice and easy. If for any reason it comes up on a printer for you, you can just pull it down for destination, save as PDF, save it, and then wherever you decide you want to save it, you just title it how I would title it in the exact same way that we did before. So it would be 24 Q4 ALTCEW group outreach report. And then for me, I have to add a 1 because this is my copy. So as I mentioned, once you've run the search one time, you can save it and use it in future quarters just by changing the date. So if we were back on our homepage in this example, you would go to search, you would go to my saved searches, And you will see these right there. So it will, once you have a whole bunch of reports, you'll see quarter over quarter, whichever one has been pulled most recently. So you can go into this and you can click edit, which is the little pencil. And then from here down at the bottom, again, go to that little pencil. And you see here, it's the value is this last quarter. You can go in and you can change the dates and then update it. And it will have all of the other parameters that you added for all of the columns and the organizational unit, meaning the organization that you chose. And it will have all of this already in place for you. Additionally, if you are in King County and you did have two different sponsors, you could go into organizational unit. And if you had originally, for example, chosen Chinese Information and Services Center, so CISC, and you wanted to make that change and pull the same information for solid ground, you could do so right here. And then again, just do the updates. And that is how you pull a group report.